Hi, friends. It's me, Christiana Gaudet. It's Friday, so I am live on my business page for the Friday weekly wrap up. I am so grateful to be here. And if you happen to be watching in archive, please listen and see if you hear something that resonates for you. Before we get started today, I wanted to remind you that we've got a few things going on here. First of all, have you seen the new episode of Starcast or have you listened to it? It's an interview between me and Shiro Marchetti. You can watch it on YouTube on the Starcast YouTube channel. You can also listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Christina, nice to see you. Lori, glad you're here. As people come into the room, I will just remind you that we have a tarot meetup on YouTube Live this coming Sunday, day after tomorrow, at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's our Cards and Conversation Tarot meetup. If you like tarot, if you want to hang out with your tarot peeps for an hour, please do join us. Hey, V, nice to see you here. Neil, nice to see you. Misty, glad you're here. Joanne, glad you're here. Barrett, nice to see you. Ryan, nice to see you. I know you guys are on the road. Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. Joanne, Jerry, glad to see you all. Okay, and you all know what to do. This is our Friday weekly wrap up where we look at the week that was. For the tarotists in the room, this is a really good exercise in how to use a card to look at the past. And in this case, it's sort of the very recent past. And so it's a helpful exercise. And it's a way of seeing, what did we do this week? How did we do this week? What can we learn from this week and what energy can we move forward? Hey, Karen Hendershot, nice to see you. Elizabeth, happy to see you. Robin, glad you're here. And yep, I do have time today. So unless anything comes in real quick for me, I can get to you. So thank you so much for lining up for your cards. Michael, Sayani, so glad to see you all here. And I do want to remind you before we get started that I have 2 premium Zoom classes this month. On September 24th, which is a Thursday, 7 p.m., The Magic and Meaning of Tarot Reversals. And whether or not you work with reversals, this is a really good class in learning to understand the spectrum of a tarot card and how we can not only divine but manifest with tarot in the middle of a reading. So that's going to be a great class. I've also had some requests for sort of basic beginner level, review level classes. And so on Wednesday, September 30th, I am offering the Journey of the Major Arcana. If you are new with tarot, if you are looking for a review, or if you simply want to know how I work with the major arcana, this class is for you. You can sign up for one or both here on my Facebook page. Just look for the events, or you can go to my website. And right now, my regular website, christianagaudet.com, is being reworked. I'm going to have a whole new look. I'm getting a facelift, folks. I'm really excited about it. So you can go to my mirror site, tarotbychristiana.com. All my stuff is there. And you can get your tickets there. Barrett, if you're not doing reversals right now, you should definitely come to this class. It will help you understand that whether or not you use reversals, you most certainly need to use dignity to understand the cards. And if you don't know what that means, then you belong in my class. By the end of the class, you may decide that you want to use reversals, but at the very least, you will feel empowered to interpret a card based on its entire spectrum, not just its most direct meaning. Now, let's get to the readings. So today, in honor of this week's edition of Starcast with Shiro Marchetti, I am using my Gilded Tarot Royale. And first, if you were here for the 3-card weekly reading on Monday, You'll remember we had an interesting reading. It was all court cards, two Pentacles court cards and one Wands, I believe. It was the Queen of Pentacles, the Knight or the Page of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. So that made for a really interesting reading for the week. It makes me wonder if you have had a lot of, it makes me wonder if you've had a lot of people that you've had to deal with this week. It makes me wonder if you were focused very much on work and the things you have to do this week. I would also wonder if you were really inspired to do some creative stuff this week. So now let's do a card for the collective, how the week was, and then I'll go through the list and I will do cards for as many people as I can, really as many people who are here, because I think I got the time today, looking at how was your week? What did you learn? What did you experience? How did you grow? What are you bringing forward into the weekend and into the new week? So for the collective, we have the Magician. And this says to me that a lot of us are beginning new journeys and that a lot of us are just figuring out what our tools are, what our skills are, what our abilities are. We're just learning how to manage things, and especially in these very weird times that we find ourselves in. We have the tools to handle all of this, but we don't necessarily yet know how to use them. So we may all be sort of wandering around, trying to figure out how to confront these strange new times. But this card says that, you know what? We have the tools for it. Okay, let me get to the list. I'm going to try to go in order and see how your week was. And the first request that I'm seeing here is for Misty. So let's see what we got. Misty, Page of Swords. It looks to me like this week you did some learning. I have to interrupt this reading just to comment. Michael says, the dignity of cards. The card not showing its ass, not acting out in a pissy way. Yeah, there you go. So, take my class for reversals. That was hilarious. Misty, I am so sorry to interrupt us. Okay, so when we look at the Page of Swords for you this week, Misty, I feel like you learned a lot. I feel like you maybe had to speak your truth. You maybe had to work on how you communicated with people. Maybe you had some technical stuff going on that you had to deal with as well. But I would say that this was a week of learning. It was a week of figuring out how to communicate. Not a bad thing. Okay, Christina Reed, how was the week for you? The Knight of Pentacles. So, to me, it looks like, you're in a relatively stable situation. You are still learning, you are working, you are building your career, and you're doing it in a very, very positive way. So I think you did a very good job this week. I hope you got some time off this weekend. I hope you can relax and reward yourself for the good work that you did. Okay, Mousers. I know you probably cannot ask for a card because you're all driving and you're all driving together in your van, and I hope you're singing a song. Well, actually, I hope you're listening to me first. So let's do a card for the Mauser family on the road right now. The Knight of Swords. What better card could they be? Could there be? You are moving forward swiftly. Don't drive too fast. But you are swiftly moving forward to your destination. You're doing the right thing, and you are going to be fine. And I think, because I know you're going to work while you're on the road, there will be plenty of connectivity for you. Okay. Joanne Higgins, how was your week? The Lovers. So this might have been a good week regarding a relationship, either romantic or otherwise. It might have been good for you to sort of figure out how different things are fitting in your life, how you find balance, how you work with others, what works in your life and what doesn't. I think you did a good job this week connecting with others and figuring out what connects with you. Okay, Karen Winkle, how was your week? The Six of Swords. You are moving forward. You are learning to put logic over emotion, which is a very, very important thing for you, my friend. So whether it felt good or not, I think you had a great week of learning, of growth, and of forward motion. Hey, Julia Bonesteel, nice to see you. Okay, Kim Reed, card for you. You're the second one here, and I'm shuffling. You're the second one to get the Page of Swords, but I'm going to give it a slightly different interpretation for your week, Kim. Kim, this week, I think you learned to speak your truth a little bit better, a little bit more. There are some people in your life where it's kind of hard for you to hold your space and speak your truth, and I think you're getting better at it, so well done. Hey, Shauna Stack, nice to see you here. Okay, so what do we see for you? Shauna, Three of Cups. Whether or not this was an easy week or a good week, I think you had some fun with your kids. You might have had some fun with some friends. And I think you are learning to sort of relax and lighten up and enjoy even when everything is crazy. Okay. So thank you all for being here. If you're just coming in, this is the Friday weekly wrap-up. I am happy to read for all who ask, but what we're doing is looking at the week that was. Those are the readings we're doing. Now, if you come back tomorrow, I'll be live here tomorrow with the Saturday Psychic Sampler, and that's where you can ask any cards you want. Okay, Lori Hahn, my friend, nice to see you. You got the Chariot. It feels as though this week you really got a sense of moving forward. Maybe it's about changes you want to make or need to make. I know your father just had hip surgery, so maybe this was about helping him with his mobility. But one way or the other, I feel like you are in charge. You're in charge of your motion. You're in charge of your mastery. You are growing, you are learning, and you are moving forward. So well done. Okay, very good. And thank you all for the feedback. I really do appreciate the feedback. I don't generally read it aloud because, well, in the interest of time, I'm trying to get to everyone. But I do see it, I do read it, and thank you very much. Okay, Elizabeth, how was Rich's week this week? We know that Rich is a manager at a Publix. Not the easiest job, especially during a pandemic. The Moon. You know, so the thing is, even though he's a manager, there's a lot of people don't tell him. And I feel like this week, there's some stuff that's been hidden from him. And I don't know if that's from below, like from the employees, or from above, from the management, but he needs to recognize he does not always get all the information. That's not his fault. That's how it's happening. And so he needs to be aware of that. Okay, Neil, how was your week? Neil, you're the second one to get this. You got the Knight of Swords. You spent some time this week solving problems, figuring things out, and figuring out how you are going to move forward. And you will. Okay, Michael Wells, how was your week? You got the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups. I'm looking at the card and my words are having a hard time coming out. The Nine of Cups for Michael. I feel like some good things happened this week. I feel like in terms of your own business as a reader, you may have moved yourself forward in some way, either internally or externally. And I feel like this week you may have had some things go well for you. So that is wonderful. Very, very good. Okay, Sayani, nice to see you here. How was your week? The Two of Wands. I think this week you really spent some time thinking about where you want to go, what you want to do, how you're going to get there, what you want to manifest in your life. What you did this week, Sayani, was not as important as what you thought about and what you started to make happen. And so I think you are going to be on a good path. Okay. Barrett Ermy, how was your week? Barrett, you got the sun. And I know you're getting ready to go on vacation, which is a wonderful thing. And I know it's not where you wanted to go for vacation. But I still think tying things up and getting ready for vacation, you had a good week, you did well. And I think you're having some breakthroughs in your psychic studies, in your tarot studies, or maybe even in your regular job. You are learning and growing, and that's wonderful. Hey, Jean Mnuchin, you made it after all. That's wonderful. How was your week this week? The Ace of Pentacles. You may have planted some seeds that will ultimately get you work and get you recognition. You may have created a new project that will do very well for you out in the world. Okay, hey Suzanne, nice to see you. Robin D, how was your week? You got the 8 of Cups, Robin. So I think this week you are looking at what you're leaving behind. It's like you're opening up to a new chapter. You're leaving something behind, you're opening up to something new. And I think you spent some time moving that energy along, contemplating that. I think you're moving toward a good thing. Okay, hey Laura, nice to see you. Laura, you got the 4 of Wands. So this week you may have really felt some personal stability. You may have gotten into a routine that served you, and you may have looked at going forward what you're going to do to create stability for yourself. Jerry Lynn, nice to see you. How was your week? You're the second one to get this. You got the 6 of Swords, Jerry Lynn. Forward motion. If you're doing any kind of writing or any kind of discovery, I think you moved that forward. I think that you have maybe moved forward with some of your plans for the future. And one way or another, you did a good job handling some difficult situations and rising above them rather than letting them get to you. Hey, Josh Wilner, so nice to see you. You got the 2 of Pentacles. Man, work, work, work. So much work. So much you're trying to get done. And you may feel like the hamster in the wheel, not getting anywhere. But you got through the week. You did a good job. And I do feel like you actually did move yourself forward, whether you realized it or not. Okay. Hey, Bigot. Nice to see you here. How was your week, my friend? Oh, you're the second one to get this. You got the Sun. I think you are really, really working on the things that are going to make a mark for you in the world, what you're contributing to the world, what you're doing creatively. I think you're doing a very good job, whether that's about helping out your family or writing or working as an intuitive, one way or the other. This week, you moved yourself forward in a big way. So well done. Okay. Hey, TK. We miss you here in Palm City, but hope you're having fun in India. You got the Knight of Pentacles. It looks like you are going to be sort of figuring out and finding out about your next journey and your next job. And maybe, I mean, this past week, of course, you were sort of on the road doing what you needed to do, or in the air doing what you needed to do, really. But I feel like everything that you're doing is actually leading you toward the right destination. So even if you don't know what or how or when that is, you're fine. Hey, Jan Brewington. You get the King of Pentacles. So I feel like this week you got some work done. You stayed in your stable place. And I even wonder about your love life, if there's anything opening up for you there. That feels like very, very positive. So good for you. Okay, Deborah Johnson Perez, how was your week? The Queen of Swords. I feel like this week you might have had to have a difficult conversation with someone. I feel like this week you might have had to stand up for the truth in a way that was difficult. However, you did it, and you did it well. Very good. Okay, Veronica Nicole, how was your week? Wow, the Tower. It may have been a tough week for you, my friend. On the other hand, it may have been, or even at the same time, may have been a week of healing. It may have been a week of letting go of what doesn't serve you so you can open up to what can. You may need to rest this weekend, but you got through it, and I think everything that you got through is going to serve you in the long run. Okay. Hey, Karen Hendershot, I'm so happy to see you here. Okay. You got the Knight of Cups. You know, the thing is, even in a very difficult world, you have to try to move forward in a loving way. And that's not always easy, especially when you feel like people are not always as loving to you as they should be. Nonetheless, I think this week you did a good job staying in your own loving energy and trying not to let other people get to you. Well done. Karen Reinhardt, haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you here. Glad that you're here. Karen, you get the Five of Cups. It may have been a difficult week. There may have been some things that you had to deal with that were not what you wanted, that were a little grievous. On the other hand, you are good at staying in a place of love, of healing your heart, and of counting your blessings. And I think you've done a good job handling what you had to handle there. Okay. Oh, and Christina says school was postponed because of the fires. So, you know, your card was so good and so stable. So I feel like you're okay one way or the other, and you did what you needed to do this week, one way or the other. Stay safe. Okay, Puck. How was your week? The Page of Pentacles. Have you been looking for a job or starting a job or something like that? It just feels like this week you moved yourself forward in terms of work and career. Hey, Lisa McCord, nice to see you. How was your week? The Four of Pentacles. I think you're figuring out what boundaries you need to have for yourself. You're figuring out the best way to take care of yourself and the best way to manage your job. And I think you did a lot of that this week. Hey, Suzanne, a card for you. Suzanne, you got the Three of Wands. You know, it may not be easy, but you are figuring out where you can be successful and where you can't be. You know, we can only change what we can change. We can only do what we can do. And I think this week you learned some of those hard lessons, but that is to your benefit. Okay. Christina, this is Christina Beeler. Nice to see you. So I can absolutely give you a card. We're looking at the week that was. We do something different every day. I'm live here 4 times a week, and each time it's something different. So on Fridays, we do the Friday weekly wrap up. And so the question is, how was your week? And you're the second one to get this. You got the Lovers. The Lovers. So I think this week you may have had some nice times with people that you care about. And you may have figured out sort of how to have some balance in your life. You may have figured out how to fit different people or different situations in your life and how to make it all work. And I am catching your feedback. Thank you so much for giving me feedback. As I said, I don't always read it aloud, but I'm catching it and I do appreciate it. Okay, Laura Goodman. How was your week? Laura, you got the Ace of Swords. You are figuring things out. I think this week you got some good news. I think this week you made some good decisions and you figured out some of your way forward. And that is a good thing. There also may have been some situations where you really had to stand in your own truth and your own beliefs, and I think you did a good job with that as well. Hey, Zuri, nice to see you. Deirdre Martin, haven't seen you in a while. I hope that you're doing well. You got Justice. I think you are learning how to have balance in your life. And I think you are learning how to stand up for yourself when you need to. And I think you are learning how to sort of be the voice of reason for people who need it. And you did all of that this week. Very well done. Missy Lowe, getting close to your wedding, isn't it? Okay, how was this week? Three of Swords. You know, this may have been a very difficult week. Maybe there is some sorrow that your wedding is not going to be the way you had hoped it would be. It's going to be a Zoom wedding. Maybe there were some other things that happened in the lead up to it or for other unrelated reasons. So you had to get through some difficult stuff. You had to find some healing in your own heart. And I think you did it, and I think you did it well. Okay. Hey, Kay Lyle, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well there in Lutz, Florida. How was your week? We got the Nine of Swords reversed. This is a card we really prefer to see reversed. You know, you have been going through some tough times, but this suggests that maybe this week you saw a light at the end of the tunnel, or maybe you had something good happen to you that made you feel better, or maybe you found joy in some small moments. It doesn't take away some of the pain and difficulty that you've been dealing with, but you know what? Even in the most difficult times, when we can take a moment and enjoy, when we can take a moment and appreciate, it helps. And I think you were able to do that this week. Okay. What does Jerry say about the Six of Swords? I've taken what I know and set sails for calmer shores. Yep, there you go. There you go. Oh, and Jan, you met someone last night and have a date. Very interesting. We should catch up soon. Cassie Neal, nice to see you. Oh, such good feedback. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Esmeralda, a card for you. You got Temperance. So there's been a lot of cards today about finding balance. And this is another one. I think this week you may have figured out how to create what you need to create. You may have figured out how to make things work together in your life. You may have found some balance. You may have found some creativity. You may have found some peace within yourself. This is a really important special card that really speaks to your growth. So that's fabulous. Okay. Joe Jackson, nice to see you here. Glad you're here. Joe, what do we get for you? You get the Knight of Cups. You're the second person to get this card today. It feels like this week you really tried to act from a place of love. You tried to be kind to others. You tried to bring healing to others. And you tried to move forward in your own life in a positive way. And I think you did a very good job. Okay, from my perspective, I've gotten to everyone who has requested cards. If I missed you, or if you haven't requested but you wanted to at the very last minute, please do so. I want to remind you too that all the classes that I teach, plus some other ones I've made specially for this platform, are available to watch whenever you'd like on Card and Craft Academy. Just go there, cardandcraftacademy.com. You can buy any class that you've missed, or there's a couple there that I made, as I said, especially for that format. So go there and look around. There might be a class there that you would enjoy. Okay, Cassia, here is a card for you, the Star. You had a hard week, but in it, there is hope for the future. Whatever you went through, there is hope and there is healing. You are moving forward and you will be fine. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to remind you that I am available for readings by phone, Skype, FaceTime, Messenger, Zoom, anything, any other platform, Duo, WhatsApp, you name it, we can do it. Reach out anytime and we'll do a reading for you. Jessica, you just came in under the wire. Nice to see you here. You got the Queen of Cups. It really looks like you had a week where you led from the heart, where you were a real example of love, where you brought healing to yourself and others this week. It may not have been the easiest week for you, but you did a very good job handling it. Well done. I'll be back here tomorrow with the Saturday Psychic Sampler. So check out my upcoming events. Make sure you join us for our tarot meetup on YouTube Live on my YouTube channel, Christiana Gaudet, Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, please like this page. Please like this video. Please share this video. I'll look forward to seeing you soon.